Hello, in this video, we're going to go over evaluating trig functions using degrees. In another video, we're going to go over evaluating trig functions using the radians. However, for now, we're just going to use degrees, just to make things easier. So, the first thing we need to remember is our chart that explains the unit circle in each quadrant. So very quickly, we're going to go over sine, cosine, and tangent. We're going to go 30, 45, and 60, and we're going to make this chart a little clean. Draw our lines in between, and we are almost there. This gets very easy to set up as long as we, remember the little tricks that we make along the way. Bring this guy down a bit. Okay, so the first thing we know is the sine of 30 is 1/2. Sine of 45 is √2/2. The sine of 60 is √3/2. I almost wrote that wrong. Then the cosine is just going to be the flip version of the sine. So cosine of 30 is √3/2. Cosine of 45 is √2/2. Cosine of 60 is 1/2. Then the tangent is just the sine over the cosine, which you can see is 1/2. 1/2 over √3/2. So you multiply by the reciprocal, and you get 1 over √3. But when you rationalize that by multiplying √3 to the top and bottom, you get √3/3. Perfect. √2/2 over √2/2 is just the same thing over itself, which is 1. And √3/2 over 1/2 is, now you can, let me show you a little shortcut. When the denominators are the same, we can cancel them. It'll be √3/1, or just √3. So we're going to use that in reference angles to evaluate all of these. So the first thing we're going to do is find the tangent of 300. All right, so the first thing we need to do is find the reference angle and the quadrant of 300. Let us also remember that our quadrants can be broken down per sign, like positive or negative, not like sine and cosine. All of them are positive here. Sine, cosine, and tangent are positive. Only sine is positive. Only tangent is positive. Only cosine is positive. So all students take calculus is how we remember that. So first thing we do is in our steps is we figure out what quadrant 300 is in. 300 is in the 4th quadrant. So we graph and we put our line there, our angle in the 4th quadrant. Next, we find the reference angle. We know that this whole thing is 360. Therefore, this angle here must be equal to 60 because that whole line across is 300. And we can see 360 minus 300 is just an easy 60. So our reference angle is 60. Okay, so now we're really finding the tan of 60. What is the tan of 60? Well, we go to our chart and we see it's equal to √3. Now we just need to apply the quadrant. All students take calculus, so only cosine is positive. So therefore, this must be negative, and our answer of tangent of 300 is equal to negative √3. So very easy. We're going to graph it. We're going to find the reference angle, use the chart, and apply the sine. That is it. So we have one extra step for the sine part over here in number 2. First thing we need to do is convert it into degrees. So we have 3π/4 multiplied by 180 over pi. The pi's will cancel. Now, if you have a hard time simplifying this, let's do it step by step. 180 divided by 2 is 90. 90 divided by 2 one more time is 45, right? So then we just see that 3 times 45 is going to get us to 135. So that is our degrees. We have the sine of 135. Now we do our process. Graph it. We are in the 2nd quadrant. Find your reference angle. We know this is 180, so this must be 45. 180 minus 135. So our reference angle is 45. Oops, we have a tangent. A sine of 45. We apply the positive or negative. So all students take calculus. We are positive because sine is positive in the second quadrant for the S. So we can keep a positive there. And the sine of 45, we just use the chart, is root 2 over 2. Sine applied, that is the answer. Easy stuff. Let's do one more and call it. All right, first thing we do is we convert it to degrees. 180 over pi. Those cancel. We see 18 divided by 3 is 6. So 180 divided by 3. So 18 divided by 3 is 6. Add that 0 that 180 had, and we're at 60. Okay, so we can now see we have 7 times 60, which is going to be 420. That is greater than 360. So we must find something coterminal. So we're going to subtract one full circle out of there. We see 420 minus 360 is going to give us 60. Nice. Let us, hold on one second. Let us clean things up for a second. Just going to make things a little smaller. Cool. All right. So now we see that we have the cosine of 60, which is just easy. We're going to graph it. We see it's just in that first quadrant. Our reference angle is 60. All students take calculus, so it will be positive, and the cosine of 60 is equal to 1/2. That is the method that we're going to use to solve these, right? Convert it, well, if we're doing it in degrees, that's what this video is for, evaluating trig functions in degrees. So convert to degrees, graph it, find reference angle, apply the sign of the quadrant. All students take calculus, and then use the chart and make sure you apply that sign. You are done. That is all. So if you have any more questions or specific problems you'd like me to cover, please just let me know. Always happy to help. Other than that, I hope everyone has a great day.